Dumelang. Welcome to yet another episode of Monday ReTsene with Pretoria Psychologists. Kalibito ke nna Kamogelo Kwapa, and I'm going to be talking about unmasking the narcissist. So you might ask yourself, what is a narcissist? You know that guy that's always the loudest in the room, that has a huge sense of entitlement, that only cares about himself and no one else. That is a narcissist. We have two types of narcissists. We have a covert narcissist and an overt narcissist. A covert one might not be too obvious. He might actually be a bit introverted than extroverted, so it's not easy to identify him, and I would know. I'm going to share with you guys a story that I went through about dating a narcissist and how I had to unmask a narcissist. Like every other relationship story, it first started amazing. It was beautiful. It felt like that kind of relationship I was always waiting for. He was perfect, except there's no perfect guy, right? At first, he blew me away. He made me feel like I was the most important woman in the world. He showed me things that I never even thought were possible. And growing up, I always admired my parents' relationship. So when I found that, I was like, yeah, I'm staying here. Little did I know that I was dealing with a narcissist. A guy that can be the most perfect romantic person ever, but also turned to be a monster. It was only 3 months, maybe 4, into the relationship that I realized that I was being emotionally abused, gaslighted. There were times where I even thought I was crazy and I questioned myself and my sanity. See, that's what a narcissist does to you. They make you question yourself. They take away from you instead of giving back to you. At some point, you find yourself very empty. And you know what the sad part was? I kept making excuses for him. So the actual cause of narcissism, or what causes it, is not really known. Psychologists always ask themselves, could it be childhood trauma? Could it be genetic? Could it be environment that actually makes someone be narcissistic? We don't know. But in my case, I believe that his behavior was based on his childhood trauma, and I made excuses for him. I tried to be his safe space, not realizing that I was actually breaking myself in the interim. I tried to be the mother that he didn't have, not realizing that I was actually destroying myself. So how do you know when you're dealing with a narcissist? Well, it's kind of pretty easy. Firstly, be attentive to what he or she says. Are they always fishing for compliments? Do they always play the victim? Are they willing to take accountability, or is it always your fault? Do they compliment you? Because sometimes narcissists, especially the covert one, doesn't do things for the mere fact of doing them. They might do them for their benefit. So you might think, no, but my boyfriend is the sweetest. He does everything. But what is he benefiting from it? So these are the kind of things that you need to pay attention to. These are the kind of things that you need to analyze. Because in more cases, you might actually be breaking yourself. As an individual, it's not your responsibility to fix anyone. It's not your responsibility to make anyone okay. Everyone is accountable for their own lives. So you might be in a relationship right now with someone who's treating you like that. With someone who's emotionally abusive, someone that gaslights you, that blames you for everything, that calls you names, and you think that is love. That is not love. That can never be love. I think it is time that you think about yourself and what is good for you. You don't have to stay in that relationship. You don't have to fix that person because, like I said, it is not your responsibility. Instead, this is what you need to do. Create boundaries for yourself. Do your research. Understand what you're dealing with. Understand the kind of monster that you're sleeping next to. And when you're ready, unmask him or her. But you have to be careful with that because they tend to be very dramatic. The narcissist doesn't care about character, but mostly reputation, how he or she looks in society. So they might want to be the good guy in front of everyone and make you look like the bad guy. So it's highly imperative that you do this wisely and that you get the support of your loved ones, because you might be in a battle, in a mental battle that is not easy to actually overcome by yourself. I believe that we are all accountable for our own lives. that it's imperative that you seek counseling if you are dealing or have dealt with a narcissist. We have stigmatized mental health issues, and I think it is time that we break the stigma. I think it's time that we become knowledgeable about these kind of mental illnesses that it's not easy for us to actually talk about as a community. For one, when I found out or realized that I was dealing with a narcissist, and I was a psychology student at that time, so I didn't even think that that would be possible because I thought I'll be able to spot it from the get-go. Not realizing that I was dealing with a Covert narcissist, like I said, it wasn't that easy to spot. But when I did realize, it was not easy to leave the relationship. I kept on making excuses for him. I kept on thinking about all the good that he did. I tried to find means to understand what was going on, and I couldn't even understand. At some point, I had to put myself first. I had to understand that I matter, that my mental health is important, that my emotional well-being is my priority. So I eventually left the relationship. And after that, I went through emotional turmoil. When I spoke to my loved ones, they didn't believe me because, like I said, he created a very good impression. But eventually, I spoke. I found my voice and I spoke my truth. So you might be out there in the same shoes that I was in, asking yourself, okay, now what? I know now I've invested so much in this person. It might not even be a relationship. It could be a friendship. It could be a loved one. It could be a family member. And it's hard for you to let go of that person. I'm not going to lie, it's not going to be easy. And after letting go, it gets even harder because you have to now start finding yourself again. You have to rebuild from what they broke. You have to take back that which they stole from you. And taking back your power is a very difficult journey, but it's not impossible. It liberates you once you do it. I do advise that you seek psychological help once you find out that you're in the same situation. There's nothing wrong with counseling. There's nothing wrong with seeking help. And if you can advise the narc to actually seek help, please do. Although they probably won't want to do it. But just try. Remember that you matter. That your life is in your hands. I'm going to leave you with this quote. Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Ke a leboga.